So all this week, we've been looking into whether happiness is a skill you can actually learn. Our arts correspondent David Sillito has been putting the idea to the test, asking a group of volunteers to take part in the BBC Breakfast Happiness Challenge.
And each day they've been trying out simple tasks like meditating or writing a thank you letter. Are they any happier as a result? Let's have a look back at their week.
Please come. You're happy?
Yes, why not? That's me, that one. Yeah.
We started this week wandering round with our mood cards. Has he been extra kind this week?
Yes, he has. It's been less stressed.
At the end of it, it's been quite an emotional time.
I love you, Pat. Oh, that's lovely, Carol. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Very nice. You've not regretted doing this then?
No, thank you so much.
No, she's loved it, she told me.
So much for involving me. I have learned so much.
I don't think I've ever written a letter like that, but I'm glad I've done it. And I feel so much better for getting into the routine of, so I do my meditation and then I exercise, and I feel so much better.
I thought about what it means, and a lot of people were saying it's not just to get a thank you or to make yourself look good, it's just the fact that you're doing it for somebody else's benefit.
By nature I'm quite positive, but I've pushed it a little bit further. As a consequence of that, all sorts of things have happened, and that's been the payback.
There must be somebody stressed here. Anyone stressed? Nobody's stressed. Everyone happy.
I'll tell you what, if you go down there, my wife's at it, yeah, she's miserable.
Your wife? We've got to leave you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
It's been wonderful.
Brilliant. David Sillito is here alongside psychologist Dr. Linda Papadopoulos. So, welcome both. David, how has it been for you this week?
Very thoughtful, actually. I thought it might make me a bit happier, but I'm not quite sure now. I've made me more think about things. Certainly made me think differently about what happiness is, because I think I started this off thinking, well, we had some tweets and we had responses to this, and the number of people said each time my reports came on, they had a feeling of nausea, irritation, annoyance. And I think the word happiness, some people are a bit allergic to it because it's not serious enough. How dare we talk about happiness when there's all this misery in the world?
So, ironically, you were creating unhappiness.
Yes, I think I have brought that to some people, and I do apologise. But I have a completely different view now about what actually we were talking about. Because there are momentary pleasures, you know, a glass of red wine might go down quite well. I think what this is what is the best way of equipping yourself mentally to cope with life's ups and downs? Some people seem to thrive and survive through life, and others seem to get knocked right back. And are there skills? What's going on in their heads? And what do we really know about what's going on in our heads?
Or, Linda, are there people who are, it's just in their system to be happy, and others who look at life the other way round?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. We're kind of born with sort of core personality traits, and these are kind of hard to shift, but what isn't hard to shift are behaviours and even attitudes. So even the most miserable person can be taught to be happy, but we all know those people that are around us that just are able to look on the bright side of life, that are able to find the best out of something, like there's people that are able to find the worst. Having said that, what I love about my job, what I do every day, is it underscores the idea that people can change the way they see the world, and if you can change the way you think about things, then you change the way you feel about things, and that's what all of this work was based on.
David, what did you think was the most successful thing that people did to make themselves truly happy, even if just momentarily?
I think it's the central message, really, of Action for Happiness with the people who we went to this new charity. And I think that the core thing is one person said they'd like to have a bit more money, of my group of 8, but all of them agreed it was their social relationships. It was the people around them, and it was that network of support that they had, and the fact that they spent time with them and being kind to one another. That's what gave them the kind of get up to go to survive in life. And I think it's that key thing of emotional support. But I think the other thing is what has amazed me, actually. The one thing that's completely, personally, I think differently, is what's going on in my head. And I was shaken to the core when I was talking to the neuroscientist about the effects of stress and how physically you're doing things to your brain. And I must say this, I forgot to mention the name of my chap, Andy Puddicombe from Get Some Headspace, who was the person who very kindly came up to Scarborough and did the training of mindfulness. And this is kind of meditation without the spirituality, without the religion, without the joss sticks. And gosh, it made me think.
And Linda, just a thought on one of the elements that people picked up on in your reports was that thing of when you say something to someone, whether it's in a letter or actually saying it to them face to face, that thank you thing, or telling someone what you actually think of them in a good way. I mean, maybe not the bad things, but that's something we don't do all the time and gives people, both giver and receiver, something.
Absolutely. There's reams of research that shows that social support doesn't just help us psychologically, but physiologically. We know people recover from operations faster. We know people recover from illnesses faster. And I think one of the points that I think is really important to get out of this is that, your thoughts aren't immaterial. They affect you. My PhD was in the psychoneuroimmunology of skin, and we looked at how stress actually affected things like eczema and psoriasis. And you could see, and if anyone's out there's had it, you know that there's, oftentimes almost a direct correlation. And this is because our immune system, all of these things are related to how we think. So actually, instead of being nauseated by the word happiness, if we take the time out to perhaps just learn how to deal with the things that make us unhappy, if that's an easier thing to swallow, then it'll have a profound effect, not just on how we think, but on how we feel.
And it's Friday. You just said earlier, didn't you? That's sometimes reason enough.
Yes.
When you're not working through the weekend like we are.
I was going to say, beginning of our working week.
For most people.
But for most people, a reason to be happy. If you'd like to try out these happiness techniques for yourself, go to our website, bbc.co.uk/breakfast. You can follow the instructions to see if happiness really is a skill that you can learn.
Yes, you guys are going to come back a little later, aren't you? So any tips and whatever, do let us know. You can find the Happiness Challenge on our Facebook page and share your progress with us by writing on our wall, or you can tweet us using the hashtag BBC Happy. It's all there.
It is. Thanks so much, you both. See you a bit later.